Hello and welcome to Bell Curve Gaming. Today I'm bringing you a Panic Poison Butterfree deck where we've got the Butterfree here with the Panic Poison attack for 1 Grass Energy, 30 damage, but leaves our opponent's Pokemon burned, confused and poisoned, which is a nice little combination, but on a stage 2 Pokemon, we probably wouldn't normally batter too much for Nihilid at this guy. So why are we having a look at him then? Well, you see, we've got this adaptive evolution that Pokemon's chuck the Caterpie and the Metapod here, which basically allows us to evolve them the turn that we play them. So we can actually get Butterfree essentially out turn 1 of the game if we've got the Caterpie and Metapod in our hand to begin with. So it's a really neat little thing that I like Pokemon's included here, and I'm really enjoying this deck. It's something that I think Pokemon should probably look at a little bit more. Ways that we can really cheat out stage 2s in the current, meta, because we've got these big overpowered basics storming around, and this guy is far from overpowered. Like, it's far from overpowered, but it's a lot of fun simply because it's a lot easier to get out. So it's something I think Pokemon should explore a little bit more, and it's a lot of fun to play with. Now, it's easy to get out because we can team it up with this Turffield Stadium as well, which basically allows us to search our deck for an evolution Pokemon, reveal it, chuck it straight into our hands, and obviously we can start evolving straight through our Metapod and Butterfree. Plus, we do have Evolution Incense to partner up with this and try and get those evolutions out. Now, with the Butterfree itself, obviously 30 base damage, the burn adds another 20, that's 50, poison is 60, so that's sort of our base damage every single time. However, we can add to this, and there's several ways we can think about going to add to it. We could look at the burn. There is another stage 2 Pokemon that allows us to, instead of being 2 damage counters, could put it to 6, which is great, but it's another stage 2 Pokemon, and I don't really want to play around with that, so we're not going to worry about the burn side of things. We could try and build around the poison, and I did think about this. We got Seviper, which is adding 10 damage counters in between turns on top of that poison, and it's a basic Pokemon that we can actually get out, but 10 damage counters, there's better that we can play with, and something that synergizes with this deck quite nicely, and something that I've played around with before, and that's Confusion. So we've got this Parasect over here with the Panic Spores, which allows us to put 2 damage counters onto our opponent's confused Pokemon in between turns. So essentially you just get one of these out, and we're suddenly doing 80 damage on the way to them. Get 2 of them out, that's 100 damage on the way there, 120 with 3, 140 with 4, so it synergizes quite nicely here, and because it synergizes so well, bench space is going to be a premium here. We're not running any other bench supporter here, creating a really nice budget deck for us to play with. We do have one other attacker that we're chucking into this deck, and that's Illumise. I bet this guy's this is probably the first time we've ever actually used him, but he's here just in case we need a basic attacker at some stage without going through our evolution chain. 1 NG, Grass NG, 20 base damage, leaves your opponent confused, which obviously if we got Parasects out, starts building up like that. What's really nice about Confusion as well is if they can't get out of Confusion, they don't have a switch zone like that, they're going to have to coin flip on the attacking back to us, so it's a bit of disruption as well. Now that is the core of the deck. The rest of it's just trying to be consistent as we possibly can in setting up. So we've got Netball, which is great for Grass Pokemon, Basic Pokemon Search, or Grass Energy Search. We've got Quick Balls, which is just great for getting basics out. We've got Evolution Incense together with our Stadium as our evolution search, and the rest of us just trying to draw through the deck. So we're playing plenty of draw supporters because we don't have Pokemon to draw through, and I really feel like we need to prioritize that, because if we don't set up, we're not going to have any hope. So it even means I've cut down to 1 boss's orders. I want to squeeze 2 in here, but I just feel like we need to run this many supporters just to try and make sure we don't get into too many dead hands too often. So we've got 4, 7, 10, 12 supporters here. We're running 2 Tate and Liza just because I feel like sometimes Marnie isn't the best option. Plus, this guy acts as a switch, because if we end up with a Parasect stuck in the active, which sometimes our opponent does choose to try and do, we've got 2 switches here plus 2 switch draw supporters. So it just gives us a little bit of flexibility within that. So that's the deck list. Let's get into some games, I think, because like I said, I've been having a lot of fun playing around with this deck, and yeah, I think this is the last deck I was playing, wasn't it? Yeah, Panic Poison. Let's get started. Yeah, really enjoying it. And I think the whole cheating evolution, just the way that this is designed, is something that I think Pokemon should probably explore with Stage 2s, because clearly Stage 2s are so far underpowered compared to the big behemoths that are running around in the meta, that they need to do something to make them much more, you know, viable again. So I didn't even look at what we're playing. Decent. We'll chuck both of these down because we'll want both down. Not sure if we're going first, second. We are going second. So this is a great starting hand, to be honest. We can chuck a netball down, get another Paris, chuck the energy onto the Caterpie. We might even luck out and get the opportunity to attack here. That'd be really great. Not sure really what we're after against Zacian. All right. So we're certainly probably up against meta relevant straight away. Is ADP Zacian? I bet you anything is ADP Zacian to start the game. Which is fantastic. I've actually not played against this matchup. If they get the ADP off, that's going to feel so bad. What would be really awesome here is if we were able to fully, like, get our full evolution turn 1. Which can happen. Can happen. It's not going to happen here, clearly. We will just... So a great starting hand, terrible second hand. Now this is my point of what I was making before of the reason why I'm running so many draw supporters. Is the only thing about this deck, like not running any other kind of support Pokemon, so he's going to try and get me stuck, is we can brick up very easily. And I mean very, very easily. So we're probably going to jump into our Lumize here, which isn't ideal. No, we're actually going to jump into our... yeah, we will grab the Metapod here. We could jump into a Lumize and just accept a... Let me think of the maths for a second. So it's 20, there'll be 40, 60. There's no way that you go down by the time you get back to me. If I go 60... and there's 30 maximum on the way back. If it stays burned, that could KO on the way back. So yeah, it's definitely the Metapod is the play that we're going with. So we'll go Metapod. Butterfree. Switch over. Chuck the Grass Energy to you. Then Panic Poison. Now, this is a huge coin flip right here. Absolutely massive coin flip. Ooh, stays burn. That's great for us. Mind you, this runs that much switching and all that, that I'd be pretty shocked if that didn't actually just get the switch out and then the 230 straight into our face, which means that we're in a lot of trouble if we don't top deck a draw supporter. ADP's coming. That's a huge concern as well. Because this will probably run some switches and stuff. No! It is going to KO on the way back to us, which is fantastic for us. I still need a top deck draw support. Or this to be a draw support. No. I'm in a lot of trouble just the minute. And I mean a lot of trouble. Evolution Incense. So do I maximize the damage count just the minute, or do I make sure that I've got an opportunity to try and at least get a Butterfree on the next play? This is a big call. I mean, I think I've got to try and maximize damage, don't we? Being bricked the way we are just feels so bad. Such a hard call. If I don't grab Metapod in this play, I have zero chance of attacking. But I think ultimately we're gonna greed. We're gonna go with the max damage at the minute. What we'll do is we'll chuck Illuminize down. We'll chuck a Grass NG to him. So we do have another attacking option. That's how we'll play it. If all goes worst, like, you know, if worst comes to worst. I'll be surprised if there's not another switch. I can't believe that we haven't seen another supporter just yet. Letting that damage add up is really good for us. Need to find a supporter. And soon. Surprised we haven't had this stadium ousted either just yet. There's the switch, yeah. That's what I thought would be coming. That's the reason why I've got the Illuminize down. So it means this has to switch again, which I wouldn't be surprised if it's got. Oh, research, that's great. I think we will chuck this down, just because it gives us another basic. We'll quickly grab ourselves out Parasect, because we just want to maximize damage. This probably has the heal switch in hand, which is what I'm really worried about. But there's nothing I can do to play around that just the minute. So we'll start getting that evolved. Grass NG, do we want to play that down to someone? Yeah, we'll play that to you. And for the moment, pheromone signals. Oh, it resists us. Such a weird resistance. Oh well, it's confused now. It can't attack here anyway, so it has to have switches. He has to have switching here. Yep, so there's the switch. Does he have the double switch? Or does he have like an NG switch and something to get the GX attack off? Mind you, if he's going for the GX attack this turn, like with the extra NG, at least he's had to take a single prize, so he's still got to take down another 3 prize cards. Oh, that is a big research. I mean, this deck can sort of easily do that sort of thing. So I'm nearly tempted here to probably switch over to a Butterfree, if we can. Just because it's going to be more damage. I mean, it's 30, 60, 120 versus 20. Well, what do I lose of guaranteed damage is 30. Hang on. So 60, that's 120 if he doesn't get out of the active, which he will. He will. $120, 140, which is just not enough. I feel like I am going to attack with you. I mean, we've got boss's orders that we can go and track down later. It's either that or we manually retreat now and hit him with Butterfree. But then, like, you're going to have the switch. There's no way you don't have the switch. I'm just going to attack here. This feels bad, but this is what we're going to do. It gives him, like, the temptation to try an Alter Creation GX, which is powerful if it goes through. But if he misses the Alter Creation GX, he loses his ADP in 3 prize cards, and then we're only a Zacian away from getting him. And he needs double switch this way to be able to get the GX attack off, which is what I like. So if he switches here, I suppose still only 3 attacks. Ah, he's going to boss his orders. That's what I was hoping he'd void. It's unfortunate. I mean, we've got switches, we've got plays. Should I leave this? Because if I think we should Cynthia first. I feel like Marnie's... Or should we Marnie? Do we need to thin? Let's Marnie. Just puts him back to 4. We get the Butterfree, so this will go and get ourselves the Metapod. We need to actually put some stuff back into deck soon. So second boss's order's gone. I'm actually unfamiliar with this deck to know how many... I've got Ordinary Rod. To know exactly how many... This is bad. There's one Caterpie there. Why do I already have so many of these in the bin? Have I used 2 Butterfrees? We'll just grab these 2 for the moment. Chuck this one to you. Think about the damage, so that'd be 80. And then 60 on the way back. So if I don't attack with Butterfree here, we don't threaten this Zacian. I need that burn to stay. I mean, you can manually retreat. This could be the bad play, actually. I might have needed to stay in with the Illumos. Ah, damn that air balloon. Being bricked is really bad. So he didn't play a supporter then. I feel like he's going to retreat to the ADP and attack with ADP next. Got 3 grass NGs left. Grab Caterpie. We need that rod soon. Grab Metapod. Then shuffle. There's Butterfree. I'm just going with the pheromone signals. The fact that this doesn't do any damage into this Zacian is just so bad. So he's going to manually retreat out of this, I reckon, to the ADP here. Oh, he's got the switch. That's brutal. Can't set up a Parasect in 1, so it means it's got to be Butterfree next. He's going to have me in time just because he's got so much switching and he was able to set up too well. I mean, that's his final switch finally out. But he's going to be able to manually retreat to an ADP, attack with the ADP. I mean, I can get this turn, assuming that I find myself a grass NG, which is what I desperately need now. So this is going to be quick balled for Cynthia. I've got a look here. I've got a Caterpie in deck. I've got a Metapod in deck. This has to be Paris, I feel. I don't have Parasect in deck, so no, you'd be a waste. So this is going to be Caterpie. Yeah. So we're going to Ordinary Rod here. We need the Butterfree. Can I just choose to only bring... should I grab a Lumize? Got 2 attackers left. I don't need a second one, so we'll just grab Butterfree and that's it. Is that right? Oh, choose one of both. I should have actually grabbed an energy card as well. Or should I go with 2 Butterfree? No, just the 1. We're fine. Alright, so we'll grab ourselves that Metapod out. Then Cynthia. Got the NG. Got the Butterfree. Still trying to work out how I actually survived this. So he goes to Zacian and then he finishes with ADP, I reckon. Without top decking boss's orders to try and get him stuck somewhere. I don't see how I actually get out of this, to be honest. But we're trying. That's the problem with Zacian ADP. I actually hate this card so much, the ADP, even though it hasn't done any damage yet. There's boss's orders, but there's going to be nothing played down that's going to be effective enough. Having this Parasect prized really hurt, not being able to play a 4th. There's the air balloon. I mean, no, wait, boss's orders might be enough when I think about it. Because he needs to protect the ADP. I'm hoping it doesn't hand disrupt. 60, 90. Oh, I'm so close. Oh no, plus the 30. No, we're there. If he doesn't hand disrupt, he needs to hit stamp. Am I wrong? Have I got him? I've got him, haven't I? Please tell me I've got him. I haven't done this maths wrong, have I? It's 30, 60, plus there. Yeah, I've got him. That's game. Bring up your ADP. Very close, but we got there. Now that is a close game. Just got home by the skin of our teeth. We did not have a single turn to spare. I tell you what, pulling boss's orders out of the prize cards saved the game. Absolutely saved the game. I mean, there's nearly argument there. If boss's orders is like that important, do we make that a 2 count? Do we go and change that to a 2 count? I mean, what for though? Like, you can just see there that boss's orders was just so crucial. Do we make it a 2 count? I want it as a 2 count. But you can also see there, like, in that game, we got bricked. We need every supporter we've got. And we need this search. I don't know. I feel like we can't go any less than 8 energies. As is, 8 energies is just enough. Let's just keep playing. I mean, I've gotten away with it being a 1 count up until now. But I really do want it to be a 2 count. Yeah, Panic Poison still selected. Let's have another game of this. But you can see how fun this deck is. And the unique idea of cheating evolution like this. I really think this is something Pokemon... You know, Pokemon are onto something with this. I doubt they'll probably do it with any of the other cards. But I encourage Pokemon do, because... it's just a lot of fun. And, you know, stage 2s are that underpowered at the moment in the format. Just throw stage 2s a bone like this. That's what I encourage Pokemon to do. Now, this is where it's bad, where we start with Paris and nothing else. So there's the reason why we need switches in the deck. Oh, so now we get our Caterpie. What's completely nuts about this is it's straight away a Butterfree. We're not going to chuck Turfield down just the moment. It allows us to counter a stadium if he puts a stadium in there. Gave him 2 free cards to start this game as well. So what we're looking at for turn 2 is getting a switch, if we can. And we're probably looking at the item switch. Well, we are looking at the item switch. If we draw top deck Tate and Liza, this is not a time we'd use that as a switch. Let's go to the Jirachi. What are we dealing with? Lapras V? Like VMAX? What's the flavour of today? Got Training Court. So much support for Pokemon. Like, for water Pokemon. There's just so much NG acceleration in the game at the minute. Like, you need to be able to attach enough NGs to attack every single turn of the game in the current format. Really? Really? Yeah, I was gonna say, like, thank you. Are you trying to help me win? What was with that? I don't understand. Alright, we'll go first. Like, we just need to go first, even though if, like, we got the nuts hand. Oh, this is anything but the nuts. Probably should have put this out in front. I don't know. Good, you mulligan. I need some mulligans. 2. I mean, there's 3 extra cards from the top of my deck to try and unbrick me. You are seeing here the reason why I'm running as many supporters as I am, though. Like, we desperately need this many supporters. Do I want this down? I don't know. Oops, I was going first. I didn't really need to play it down. Ooh, that could be awkward. That could be very awkward. We'll chuck this down. We'll grab ourselves another Paris. We will chuck this to you for now. Yeah, for now it doesn't really matter. I feel like there's a very high chance of being horror housed here on turn 1 just to stop me playing anything. If that happens, it happens. It's unfortunate. No horror house. Oh wow, okay. So we'll chuck an NG to the back line here. What we're going to do is Cynthia. Ooh, we did not hit what we wanted. No evolution search, which is horrible. Horrible turn 1. Do we just stuff it? I probably should have started Lumos when I think about it. We'll go with pheromone signals. Just so it confuses this. I am actually tempted to research this hand. Well, we've got theoretically enough attackers to research the hand. It's any trainers this is, isn't it? It's been a while since I've played against this, so yeah, any trainers. So he's got the easy KO. If, of course, he flips heads, which he doesn't, which is good for us. Do I want to research this? Do I want to... He didn't play a supporter, so we... I kind of want to keep this. Kind of want to... I potentially might run out of attackers if I research this at the moment because I'm throwing away an ordinary rod. So we're going to shuffle 5. This would normally be a research if I didn't get that top deck. We've got enough to start building up some Parasects, which is what we like. So that's what we'll prioritise just at the minute. We are just as much as a Lumi's deck as a... We do have a draw support, don't we? Yeah, good. As I am a Butterfree deck. Do we want to attack this? I mean, it puts 20 damage on me. I feel like yes, because it's an extra 20 damage onto him. So we will. Just the minute. Can't be bothered doing the maths for a little while, you know, to see how many it would take. I mean, he had the KO back if he flips heads anyway, because I've still got the Cynthia in hand. The upside of this deck is I should have a lot of ways to spend a lot of my trainers, except for the supporters, every turn. Why would you chuck a third energy onto this guy? That doesn't make sense to me. I am surprised I didn't see a Horror House turn 1. I'm glad I didn't see a Horror House turn 1, I'm not going to lie. I am surprised I didn't. I think he's bricked a little bit. Not even going to try to attack. Well, that's fine. We'll just get ourselves out an extra Parasect. So that's 120 damage. So he's dying on the way back to me. If I hit 20, that's 70. So with 3, that's 60 plus the 20. So I can get him on the way to him though, which might be worthwhile doing. I reckon that's worthwhile doing. Like, how good does this feel? Just going, oh yeah, I can evolve that. So if I hit in, I'm hitting in for 20. It's only 80, isn't it? 2, 4, 6, yeah, so it's only 80. So I don't KO him. So we'll just let it tick over. So now it's over to him. He KOs on the way back to me if he leaves this guy in the active. Otherwise he's going to have to retreat out. I am pretty surprised he attached the NG there and didn't go to this guy. And given that he stayed with this Gengaku, I'm surprised he didn't try and declare an attack. What's he trying to do? Hyper Potion. Okay, wow. Alright. Fair call. And a great potion. That is a lot of resources to spend on that Gengaku. I'm just going to throw it out there. That is a huge amount of resources to spend on that Gengaku. Can't say I would have done that. Alright, well, we'll go and get ourselves out of Caterpie. No, we won't. We'll go and get ourselves out of Paris. Get a Grass NG here. Hang on. No, we don't want a Grass NG, do we? Not the minute, not unless I want to attack for 80. Attacking for 80 with the 60 gets you. I do want to attack for 80, so yes, I do want the Grass NG. That's the upside of the Butterfree as well, is it's 2 NGs and it hits 80, and that can be good. We're just going to research this hand, that's fine. So this is this Gengaku gone, and that's my next Butterfree setup. We don't have an NG for the next turn just yet, but we'll quickly go and get ourselves a Parasect. And then Cutting Wind. 20 damage onto this guy, but it's enough to get that Gengaku down. Beautiful. 3 prize cards there. That was a lot of resources to spend on trying to keep that Gengaku alive, and yet it still didn't keep him alive. That's like making him pay big time. He could Horror House, but that wouldn't be any good to him here. Not unless he... Well, that's rude. To only have 3 remaining. I mean, I might as well... So I'm discarding, don't you? So it's that one I discard, that one I discard, isn't it? Yeah. So I've still got 2 here. I mean, when I think about it, I could discard this. Because I've got Caterpie, I've got a Metapod. Stuff it. Let's discard this. Although that's an energy as well. Nah, let's just discard these two. That's smarter. It's annoying, but we'll do that. We might run a switch here, just to this Butterfree. I don't want a Marnie. I do want a shuffle draw. Because what I want to try and find is Pokemon like my rods. My other rod. Yeah. What we want with this rod is we actually want our other, like a Parasect line out. That feels good. So we'll now use this, and this way he's not doing any damage to me at the minute, which is absolutely awesome. We'll quickly grab ourselves that Parasect out. Beautiful. We'll chuck an NG to this guy, and we'll now Panic Poison. I mean, he's in such a bad spot now. Some weird plays from this one. Certainly some weird plays after our first exciting Zacian match. I mean, the funniest thing is a Poltergeist hits for 0. So he's taking a chance to hit for 0. What was that deck? Did he just brick really bad? Oh, I can't tell. Maybe he just bricked really bad. But yeah. So that is going to cover it. That is the... that there is the Panic Poison deck. Featuring Butterfree. And a backup attacker of Illumais. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, Pokemon are onto something with this adaptive evolution. Like, I really don't see them doing it for other Pokemon, but I think it would be a really good inclusion to just to try and throw stage 2 decks a bone. I mean, the reality is, even with this adaptive evolution, deck space is super tight because you have to play a 4-4-4 line of whatever Pokemon you're going to play. But it's a super fun deck, as you can see, and I really think this is actually so far my favorite deck of this format. I'm just having so much fun playing this deck, so be sure to check it out, and it's budget friendly. So yeah, check it out for sure.